Hello and welcome to Blue Girls Video Podcast. And I have dreams for you today for July 2014 and August 2014. And the first one is titled Black and Blonde. There were these two famous women. The woman with long black hair didn't want to meet with me and was off doing something else. The blonde-haired woman wanted just to meet me and shake my hand. There was this old card machine. First it was 97, then it was $3.99, then $4.27. Also my Nook was acting up. So these women, I remember the black-haired woman was really pretty. And this was about an apartment. And for whatever reason, I don't know why the black-haired woman didn't want to meet with me. I think she was just kind of busy. And so she's just kind of leaving it up to the blonde-haired woman. And I never met them in real life. And I think these amounts, 97, $3.99, and $4.27, I think that could have been like mid-month. Like I would have to pay so much for like the 2 weeks where I was living, and then another 2 weeks for this apartment. That's what I think it was, but I'm not for sure. Dirty. I am taking a shower in a dirty tub that isn't solid placed on its boards. I am staying at my cousin's or some other woman's place. She tells women about programs to help them, but not me. I feel that I need to leave. Some woman is mad at me. There is a sense of water, lake, ocean. Okay, so I remember this. It was like in the basement. It was kind of like an old shower that, like they didn't really use anymore because it wasn't really structurally sound or whatever. And so whatever, I was staying there temporarily in the dream. And there was a woman who told other people about programs to help them, like financially or whatever they need, but she didn't tell me. So I felt like I needed to leave. And then whatever, some woman is mad at me. I'm not for sure who that was. And this is just a dream, but that's the dream. Virginia. There's a woman with long brown hair. I have never been to Virginia. I can't use the toilet. I have a dark bag which has some money in it that I didn't want anyone to know about. I'm riding on a bike and I am biking behind this one kid. I don't know where I am at, so turn around. Okay, so this is a little bizarre because right now this dream took place in 2014. And it's 2022. And so this dream isn't scheduled until 2029. So, and the reason why I did that is because I have so many things going on. I have the podcast, and I'm kind of condensing the dreams instead of just one dream. There's three, so because my dreams aren't as frequent, so I had to do something for the WordPress, right? So anyway, okay. So there's a woman with long brown hair. I've never been to Virginia. I can't use the toilet. I have a dark bag which has some money in it. Okay, so I have been to Virginia a couple years ago. I went to Ashland, Virginia for, it wasn't actually in Ashland, but close by, to volunteer for a couple weeks or whatever, about 10 days or whatever. So, dark bag, to me that must mean that something's stolen. I mean, because, which has money in it that I didn't know about. Because, or else it could also be that going to Virginia, there's somebody who's going to help me in the dream. I'm riding a bike. So what is weird about this is that, like, I heard from Virginia and recently in real life, and then I had a recent dream about, I was writing, I thought it was another woman. It may have been another woman, I'm not sure. But it was like I was on a path. It was warmer weather, sunny, and it's like snow here. And to the right went a boy and his mom, or vice versa, right? And then right in front of me were these boys riding their bikes, teenagers, kind of like preteens, and I followed them. So right here it says, I am riding on a bike and I'm behind this one kid. And that is the dream that I just had in 2022. And I didn't know where I was at in the dream. I just knew it was warmer weather. And I didn't turn around. I just kept going. So that was kind of strange because this was just recent, this recent dream. I meant, within the last week. Brothers. I was talking to someone about my brothers. One is 7 years older, 10 years older, and then 11. When I was a child, they were teenagers off doing their own thing. So it was my younger brother and me growing up. There was a room that had several cockroaches and 2 green bugs. I got a kitten that I really liked that I wanted to bring with me. Okay, so I don't know why or who I was talking to about my brothers, but in real life, I do have my older brother is 7 years older than 10 years, and the other one was 11 years old, but the one who was 11 years older than me has passed on in 2006. This isn't like real life. They were teenagers doing their own thing, and so it was me and my youngest brother growing up. And there were several cockroaches. Well, I would say about a year and a half ago, I was living in a place where there was issues with cockroaches. That would be in 2020, 21. So whatever, now it says there's a kitten that I wanted to bring with me. Clipboard. There was this clipboard that the top was filled out and some guy was supposed to fill out the bottom. There was some other guy around him. An appointment. It's 9:15 a.m. I have an appointment. Where are you at? I am trying to purchase a ticket possibly to Los Angeles. I am talking about my experience in Arizona and how they are mean. I see these kindergarten children around, 4 of them walking with possible wearing costumes. There are 2 white girls, early 20s, that are wearing heavy makeup. Okay, so 9:15, it could have been, of course, September 15th. Where are you at? I meant somebody, is trying to find me, or obviously, so it looks like I was going to go to Los Angeles. And I think in 2014, I had not been to Los Angeles. A couple years ago, I did go into Los Angeles, but I went to Hollywood. Let's see here. So I don't know why I would be talking about my experience with Arizona. I don't like Arizona. I like Tucson, but I don't like Phoenix. And how they are mean. Yeah, they are mean there. And so let's see here. So, yeah, these kindergarten people wearing costumes that could be for October or something. I don't know. This dream took place in July, so I don't know what that was about. And so whenever there's 2 white girls, early 20s, to me that could be, because I've had dreams of these 2 women before. They're very skinny, and they're from New York, but they're living somewhere else, like Seattle or Pacific Northwest. And wearing heavy makeup. So when I see that word makeup, it means sometimes it means make up the difference. Like there's money owed, about, I don't know, but there's no amount in the dream. So it might have something to do with September 15th. I do not know. Covered up. I was trying to get someone to drive me, possibly California. I mentioned that I would sit in the back seat and remain quiet during the trip. I can't remember this one conversation. There was this one mother and daughter around me. The daughter's feet were sticking out from the covers, so I covered them up. So I said that I wasn't making something up. Okay, so I don't know why I would be wanting someone to drive me to California when I was talking about Los Angeles. Because I don't know. Let's see here. So I mentioned, I have a tendency to talk too much. Yes, I know. So I was like, okay, well, I'll be quiet. I actually don't like talking much, actually. But I have a tendency to talk too much with certain people. But anyway, so I told these people, okay, well, if you give me a ride, I'll just sit in the back seat. I won't talk as much. I'll be quiet during the trip. And they didn't really want to do it for whatever reason. I don't remember. I think it was a couple of women, and I don't know why or where in California I wanted to go. It could have been Los Angeles. I don't know. So yes, there was a mother and daughter around me, and and then the daughter's feet were sticking out. Something was covered up, and I covered them up, or somebody covered it up. And I said I wasn't making something up. So somebody didn't believe me. It sounds like. So anyway, yeah, I don't know what was covered up in the dream. I don't know. Foreign. There was this early 20-something girl walking around in her underwear as she was putting white sheets into washing machine. She had a couple of tattoos by her stomach. Then I was walking with a couple of Mexican kids, possibly in a foreign country. Then there was another foreign guy with long hair and a long gray beard. I was trying to convince him to let me leave. I was going to tell him the dream to forewarn him. So I remember this girl. She was actually, I never saw her that I know of in real life. I'm not sure. But she was walking around, and she lived in the same apartment complex that I lived in. But like I said, I never saw her in real life. But she was there, so who knows when this was. And so she was just walking around in her underwear. You know, no one else was around in her apartment. And she had a tattoo on her stomach. And she was in real life, they had like a washer and dryer in the unit, which was really cool. So she was putting sheets in there and doing that. So I don't know what was going on why I was walking with a couple of Mexican kids, and I vaguely remember this foreign guy with long hair and long gray beard. And so I think I was trying to convince somebody to let me leave. Something about my dream, I don't know which one, to forewarn him. Convince them to let me leave. So I'm not for sure what the forewarning was about. I don't know. Gray rabbit again. I was in a van with a woman. Van was kind of messy. A woman was driving. I was eating some cookies. There were teenagers around me. One had a book. There was a gray rabbit hopping away from the place. Okay, so I remember this. I was in a van with another woman and a kid, I think. And teenagers. Yeah, a woman was driving and I was eating some cookies. So one of the teenagers had a book, which I didn't remember. And so to me, okay, the gray rabbit hopping away from the place. So what I felt about in this dream was there was a blessing that was coming from this gray rabbit. And because I had another dream where the rabbit was looking inside a screen door. But in this one, the gray rabbit is hopping away, like the blessing is going away, or the help, or whatever it was. Gray rabbit again. Oh, no, whoops. Sorry. I just read this one. Hello. Rattlesnake. I went down to this house. There is an older guy there, a woman and a child. I didn't want some guy coming near me, a Native American man with a rattlesnake. Yeah, so I remember the guy, the Native American man with the rattlesnake. I was afraid of him. I don't know why I was, but I just was. The next one is cat claw. I see this young woman sitting down at some office. There is a cat claw, some disturbance. Okay, I don't remember that dream. Spiders. Some girl is fascinated by spiders. She is watching a TV show with spiders. There's a huge black beetle on the back of a shower curtain. Okay, so this could be the same young girl that had a tarantula, a pet tarantula. But I just remember she was fascinated with spiders and tarantulas and stuff like that for whatever reason. So dirty water. I was in the bathroom. The toilet and the sink has dirty water in it. Okay. Whoopee. $200. There's a guy sitting at a desk desk, you won't even give me $200 or a job. I remember this because I was sitting right in front of him. And I was like, you won't even give me $200 or a job. I remember thinking that. Hiding. I see glimpses of a foreign country. I am with a religious person and hiding a little bit. I see a lease. So I vaguely remember this. I was in a foreign country. I'm not for sure which one, but there was this religious person that was helping me. It was something about a lease. And I didn't want to go into the lease or something like that. Yeah. Vancouver. I'm elevated possibly in a skyway, Vancouver. One direction and back, $20. I don't know what that was about. Lemon. There were these two girls that looked like each other. Anna Karina. The mom is kind of saying something about a prettier one. There is this convenience store. This one girl is looking for a lemon meringue pie. She sees a $20 and takes it. So, of course, I think these two girls were sisters. I don't know what, maybe I was reading the book Anna Karina at the time. So I remember one of the girls, she saw like a $20 and she takes it. I don't know if she just found it like on the road or whatever, but she found it in the store, the convenience store, and she took it. That's what I remember. It wasn't like in the cash register or anything. It was just like there, and she in the store somewhere, and she picked it up. She took it. Flying or bus. I was at a fast food place. There was a discussion of Florida. I mentioned that I already saw the ocean. How are you going, flying or bus? I mentioned my companion fare. I am sitting on the beach and I see the ocean. There is an apartment complex with numbers on doors right on the beach. There are a couple of young mean guys around the beach. I am thinking about applying for a retail position. My brother will never grow up, just like me and my head injury. Okay. I forgot all about this dream. Let's see here. So I was staying at some place that was right on the beach. I don't know where it was located, if it was in Mexico or somewhere else. I don't remember. So this is true. I always felt like my brother will never grow up. I didn't see him for like 10 years. And he did grow up a little bit, but it took him a while to grow up. And I said, just like me and my head injury. Well, I've already discussed that in this podcast video, earlier documentation. Crushed ice. I see a map. A bathtub is full. On one side, oil-like substance, and the other crushed ice. I don't remember this dream. Dropped from list. I hear a woman's voice talking. She is mentioning names and mine is not included. I am in the office with a landlord. I say, don't do this. Okay. Yeah, so I think this was about regarding an apartment complex, and I don't know why I was dropped from a list. It was a woman who did it, and I remember saying, don't do this. Express. Okay, we're still in August of 2014. I'm on an express bus and I'm sitting, it says 204. I am on an express bus and I am sitting next to a woman with gray hair. I want to stop to take some pictures to get off bus. The bus schedule is 5:55 and last is 6:55. I am mad at myself because I forgot the camera. Then I am in a building and as I exit there's a sculpture right in front of me. I was going to walk to the next bus stop but didn't know where it was located. I surprisingly saw several cottages and thought I could stay there. Then there was a couple of people around, a man and then a woman. I wanted to see if could store items somewhere else instead of pay for storage because someone was in contact with my brother. 3 people died. Okay. Old lady. The only person I can trust is a manager. Then I see an old lady. Black string. Someone pulled a black string. I am awake and I am having visions. There is a room full of dark black bags plus 2 laptops. I am on the phone walking and talking. Manila. There was a woman who had a manila folder. She wouldn't give me my friend's phone number, 952. Couple's place. I was at this couple's place. They were sitting on a couch across from me. They later were intimate with each other. The young woman had short brown hair and brown eyes. We disagreed on some issues. 4 videos. I don't remember this dream. So the next dream is, yay! There was a guy in his house. He agreed to do something. A group of people say, yay! Why pay $6.15? Tucson and Virginia. I was having a conversation with a woman who reminds me of an old friend of mine. She mentioned that she lost a lot of weight. I asked if she was still living in Tucson. She said no. Now she's living in Virginia. She actually brought up a couple of other places before mentioning Virginia. I also mentioned having dreams of Virginia. My mom took a walk. Then I was walking, trying to find the ocean. It was right around the corner. I couldn't find any name for the beach. There were 2 cars in the ocean. Okay, so now I kind of remember this dream. It was kind of strange. There's another dream about Virginia. So yes, I do. A former friend of mine does live in Tucson, but it says right here that she was the one who was going to Virginia. She was in Tucson and then she moved to Virginia. That's in the dream. As far as I know, she's still in Tucson. I have no idea. So I just remember that I was walking and I could have sworn that I had like a suitcase or 2, maybe like a big suitcase, and I was trying to find the ocean. I don't know why I was carrying a suitcase with me, but then I remember finding it, like, and I had my suitcase and I'm like, okay, there it is. But I didn't know the name of the beach and I just was trying to get to the ocean. And then I vaguely remember 2 cars in the ocean. I don't know why there would be 2 cars in the ocean. That's kind of strange, but I do remember seeing that, so I'm not for sure what was going on. Hairy arms. There's some guy who has hairy arms, so he shaves and waxes the hair, which doesn't hurt. I don't know why I have these dreams. Zebra. This girl had short brown hair and brown eyes. We were not really getting along. I had my zebra suitcase with me. There was water dripping from a hole in the ceiling and the rug by the sofa was wet. I mentioned that I have lived in 5 states, well actually 6, and I have been to 2 different countries. I can and will go anywhere. Yeah, so I vaguely remember this dream, and there was like, they were just trying to find an excuse to have me leave, and so I had my suitcase with me, my zebra suitcase, which I do have in real life. And there was like a hole in the ceiling, and why was that my fault? And the rug, whatever, there was an area that was wet, and they mentioned, I mentioned where, so I was like, well, I can make it anywhere. I've lived in this so many states, blah, blah, blah. I haven't worked in all those states, and I haven't worked in a very long time. But, so I was just saying, well, I can go and we'll go anywhere, because I wasn't getting along with this girl. So the last dream for August 2014 is pins. There's a Mexican guy sitting at his desk. There was a man who was threatening a woman by putting pins close to her face. The woman may have done it back to him, not sure. Someone says security. Someone takes a box of pins away from him. So there was something going on that the man was threatening the woman by putting pins close to her face. I don't know, but I had a friend who like broke his toe and they were going to put pins or something in it or something like that. And this was happening right around this time, I think. So whatever, so the woman was going to do it back to him. So I don't know what this was about. I think, yeah, there was a Mexican guy. So, okay, thank you for watching. This is the end of the video. Thanks.